Unfortunately, a lot of the top Shopify stores like to gatekeep and not share the strategies you really need to know to help you have a successful Shopify store. So I really want to change that on my channel and share with you in this video the top 5 key strategies that you can actually use and implement with your Shopify store that I can guarantee will help you reach your 6 and 7 figure goals. So the very first thing you want to do is streamline your checkout process ASAP. Remember back in the day when you used to walk into Walmart thinking about all the things you were going to buy just to see a super long line of people waiting to check out? Now, I'm gonna be honest, most of the time I just left if I really didn't want the items that bad. And your customers will do the same exact thing to you on your Shopify store if your checkout process is too long. So you want to make sure your checkout process is as concise as possible, and you really want to get it down to at least 1 page. The more steps and pages you have to your checkout process, the worse your conversion rate gets. Now, there are 2 apps that I suggest that you check out if you're trying to achieve this 1-page checkout. The first one is called Dominate, and it is free to use and install. The second one is called MageBird, and this one offers different sales optimizations outside of just a 1-page checkout, but it is $15 a month. Now, another thing you want to do is enable express payment options. You really want to make it as easy as possible for people to give you money. So make sure that you have Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, ShopPay, etc. enabled so you don't miss out on any sales. In fact, you stand up to lose 50% of shoppers simply because you don't have their preferred payment option. Now, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Even though you put in all this effort trying to streamline your checkout process, you are still probably gonna get a lot of abandoned carts. According to data from Baymard Institute, only 30% of carts make it through the checkout process. Imagine the potential revenue you could get if you actually had those 7 carts. Now, if we narrow down cart abandonment rates by industry, the number gets even worse. Now, I will say even a popular industry like cosmetics has a cart abandonment rate of at least 70%. But don't freak out, because I really want to give you some abandoned cart strategies you need to be using for your second tip. The first strategy you want to use is creating an email automation sequence with your email or SMS provider. Now, my personal favorite provider is Omnisend because they have one of the best abandoned cart email sequences in the game. And it is already built and prepared for you as soon as you connect to your Shopify store. So if you are not super techie, this is the email provider for you. All you really need to do is some small tweaks if you like, and you are good to go. Now, the very first thing that you want to consider when you're thinking about abandoned cart recovery is that timing is crucial. So I recommend that you make sure your potential customer receives that first message at least within an hour of leaving your Shopify store. You can then set 2 or more abandoned cart emails to help improve the chances of you actually recapturing this customer. You also want to make sure you feature the abandoned products in the email itself so they remember what captured their interest in the first place. For future emails, you could include recommendations for similar products, and that might improve the chances of you getting a conversion as well. Now, if you really want to get the best results possible, you definitely want to combine this strategy with a Facebook ad retargeting strategy as well. If you are familiar with my channel, you know that I talk a lot about Facebook ads and the best Facebook ad strategies you want to use for your Shopify store. So I won't go super in depth here because I don't want to turn this video into a Facebook ad tutorial. What I will say is that you want to make sure when creating these retargeting campaigns that your messaging has incentives for your potential customer to come back to shop with you. So adding something super simple like free shipping in your messaging can really help you capture the sale, so get creative. You'll honestly be surprised how many people won't purchase your product just because you don't offer free shipping. And if you're getting value thus far, if you could like and subscribe, I would really greatly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, make sure that you comment them down below. The third strategy that you want to implement is optimizing your Shopify store for SEO. If you're not familiar with SEO, it just stands for search engine optimization, and it is one of the best ways to gain free traffic to your Shopify store. The purpose of SEO is just to make sure your website ranks #1 in Google, so when your ideal customer searches for an item you sell, your website pops up. SEO nowadays is nowhere near as difficult to implement on your Shopify store as it once was, since Shopify does a lot of the legwork for you. However, there are a few things that you want to make sure that you have in place for the best possible results. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that Google knows your store exists in the first place. You do this by submitting your sitemap to Google. It sounds way more difficult than it actually is, and Shopify has a full write-up for you, and it literally walks you through step by step the entire process. The second thing that you want to do is make sure that your website is optimized for mobile. The majority of the traffic to your store will come from mobile devices, so if your store isn't optimized, Google won't suggest your website. The third thing you want to do is make sure you use keywords in your URLs, titles, and descriptions. You want to use the same keywords your potential customers are using on Google, because this just tells Google you have what they are looking for. So use these keywords everywhere you can, just don't overdo it. Make it sound human and natural. Moving forward, the fourth strategy you want to use is adding a referral program for your Shopify store. Having some type of referral system will help your customers market your brand for you and provide them with rewards for doing so. In some cases, another company will see your referral page and hop on the opportunity to work with you and grow your brand's reach. You can also use this as well to work with influencers to grow your Shopify store too. So the possibilities of this strategy, when implemented correctly, are endless. I mean, there are so many brands that have built their whole business off the backs of influencers. So if you can't beat them, join them. Now, I will say there are a lot of affiliate programs and referral programs you can use for your Shopify store. Some I think you should check out are Referral Candy and Go Off Pro, and a new one that Shopify has created called Shopify Collab. I think you should check it out once it's fully launched and functional. Now, the fifth strategy I recommend you use is cross-selling and upsells. Honestly, this is one of the quickest ways to generate additional income and increase your average order value virtually overnight. What I will say is the more customers your Shopify store gets and the more you understand your customers' wants and needs, the easier and more lucrative cross-selling and upselling becomes. Basically, the more information that you have on your customers, the more accurately you can predict what products they would want and what products sell best together. Some apps you should check out to help you implement this strategy is Reconvert and One Click Upsell from Zipify. Now, there is one more vital strategy that I left off that you have to use if you want a successful Shopify store. And that strategy is using social media. And there is no better app to use right now than TikTok. And in this video right here, I show you the best ways to promote your Shopify store utilizing TikTok.